behaviors to help you be able to talk to different people. And we've talked about the recruiting process. So now what I want to really get into and, help you all with is overcoming objections. That seems to be the biggest hang-up, is overcoming the objections. And with our personality styles, it's a little bit harder for us because we don't want to be pushy. We don't want to say the wrong thing. That's just kind of how we are. So we're going to learn how to overcome that. And I'm going to start off. Let's see, I need a piece of gum here. Do you want a piece of gum?
Sure, thank you.
Do you want a piece of gum? You want a piece of gum?
Yes, please.
Jenna, do you want a piece of gum?
Can I too?
Okay.
I have some of them.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
Thanks. Anyway.
Do y'all see what I just did?
Mm-hmm.
My feelings didn't get hurt when they told me no.
Oh, you're sweet.
That I just wanted to prove a point that when someone tells you no, it doesn't mean not ever. It doesn't mean they don't like you. Y'all like me, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean they don't like our company. They just didn't want a piece of gum right now. Recruiting is about the same way. So, that's your reminder. Got you, didn't I? I got some information from Stacy James. She is a senior national sales director on recruiting ethics because what I want to talk about tonight is the right ethics behind recruiting, as well as the objections and how to overcome those objections. So, our reputation as a company has made all the difference in all the success that everybody enjoys in this company. And it's the reputation of our products, it's the reputation of our corporate staff, it's the reputation of us out in the field, All of that combined is what makes Mary Kay's reputation the good reputation that it is. And we belong to a company that not only excels in the area of cosmetology and cosmetics, but we're in the top 10. We're in the top 10 brands. So that speaks volumes, and it's all about reputation. We're also known for our integrity, and we're known for our unique style of leadership, because I can't think of any other company right off the top of my head that provides leadership styles the way we do. Meaning that, we go back to the priorities of God first, family second, and career third. And we follow the golden rule. And integrity can be challenging a lot of times. It's not always the easy road, and it's not the road of least resistance. And so it's a decision that we make. We make the decision to have integrity. And we realize that no matter what we feel that we're going to lose at that potential moment, ultimately we're going to gain. It's going to come back to us tenfold. Okay? So, the woman of good repute is listened to, and her opinions weigh heavy. A woman who lacks integrity can shout from the rooftops and never be heard. An exclusive customer is someone that a consultant has personally met with and physically facialed. And I know for a fact that's where a lot of times we get hung up on customers, okay? Just because you sold Susie a product for her mother does not mean that her mother is your customer. When you meet with her personally face-to-face, and you do a facial or a color appointment with her, and you explain how we treat our customers and, the go-give and everything, then that's your customer. That's your customer. If you have an out-of-town customer, it's a very good thing to send her lots of samples. Send her lots of product samples and follow up. And put her on your PCP list. Because I realize that when she's out of town, you can't just hop in a car and go thousands of miles to facial her, okay? But what you can do is on PCP list, lots of samples, and follow up with those samples. Okay? So, I'm going to give you some recruiting 1, 2, 3s from Stacy because these were just very, very good. Okay. Once you have a career chat and you share the benefits of this business with someone, a potential recruit, it's then my responsibility not my responsibility, your responsibility to see if she is currently using or has used any of our products. Because wouldn't you agree that if she's on our products or using our products, she's going to sell and she's going to be more open to hear about the business. In other words, what I'm trying to say is put the product on her face before you start talking business recruiting with her. I honestly believe that a person needs to actually feel and see and try our products before they make a decision as to whether or not they want to start a business. I mean, would you want to go start a business, I don't know, selling, clothes if you didn't like the clothes? No. So, one of the things you want to ask her when you're talking with someone about the business is, are you currently using our line of products? And if she says yes, ask her which ones. Ask her which ones. Sometimes you may hear someone say, well, I use Mary Kay's lip gloss. Or I use Mary Kay's mascara. And actually they got it for a birthday or for Christmas in their stocking, That's not really using our line of products, okay? So ask her what she's using. And ask her how long she's been using those products. That's always good to know. Because the longer she's been using them, the more loyal she's going to be. Mm-hmm. And then if she's not using them, but she said she used them in the past, ask her, how long has it been? Because things, our products have changed for the better. They just keep getting better. Ask her if she's ever been presented with the Mary Kay facts of the business. Some people call it interview. Some people call it an interview. Some people call it career chats. That's what I prefer. It's called many different things. But ask her if she's ever been presented. Has anyone ever asked her to listen to a CD or brought her to a meeting or a hostess contest or some kind of Mary Kay event? And if she says, yeah, great, who brought you? Find out who brought you. Or who brought her, rather. And ask for the consultant's name. Ask for her name. If she doesn't, if she said, and I've had this so many times, if she says, well, I really can't remember her name. Now, if you're a customer and if your consultant is seeing you every 3 or 4 months, you're going to know her name, okay? So if she doesn't know her name, you need to ask more questions, such as, well, what did you use? What product was it that you used? And, or, where was it that you went? What event was it? Or, was it a meeting? So just kind of ask some more questions. And it's that, and ask her too, did you meet the director while you were there? That's always important. Did you meet the director? Once you reach that point and you're asking those questions, it's really a good thing to explain to her that we have a very unique and a very special company, a company that believes in customer consultant loyalty, okay? And then you could say something like, so Jane, it would be very important for you to be recruited into the company by the consultant who's been servicing you with the product. Does that make sense to figure out who, is actually someone else's person? If the consultant says, this is the potential consultant, if she says, I don't want to be recruited by my current consultant, I think she's pushy. Mm-hmm. Okay? You can hear that. Here's your response. You know what, Sally? You're going to be a wonderful consultant, and this opportunity is going to be such a blessing to you. And I know Mary, and she's very successful, and she's a fabulous consultant. no matter if you know her or not, you want to, build her up. You never talk negative about her. And you can, she's going to take very good care of you. Now, would you like to place that starter kit order with your Visa or a check? So you're kind of addressing the situation, but you're not addressing the situation. You're taking up for the consultant. And then at this point in time, you're a very strong influence for this gal. Okay? Very strong. And it's your response that's going to make a difference as to whether she recruits and starts a business or not. When someone says they're pushy, she says, if you hear her say she's just pushy, most of the time that's an excuse. That's just an easy excuse for someone to say, she's just pushy. I don't like working with her. She's pushy. So, to lead another person into doing the right thing, you have to kind of diffuse that smoke screen a little bit. And but you do that by complimenting that director or that consultant. And the best thing to do at that point would, I wouldn't say any more about that consultant or that director. I would just, she's going to be great. I think you would be awesome. Why don't we give Susie Q a call and get you signed up? You want to call the other consultant or have her call the other consultant and sign up with her. And that can be hard. I've lost consultants doing stuff like that. But I've reaped the rewards, and you will reap the rewards. And what if they persist? What if she continues to say, "Well, I don't care. I'm not gonna recruit with her." Okay. If she says, "I will not become a consultant if I have to be recruited by my current consultant," I don't understand. Are you telling me that I don't have any say in who I'm going to work with? I mean, wouldn't y'all agree that's one of the things that we do tell people? Mm-hmm. You get to choose who you want to work with. So if we're telling them you have to go back to her, I mean, it can get a little ugly. So remember, if you have a customer that says those words to you, if she says, I don't understand, why do I have to be recruited by my current, consultant? What if I don't want to work? If she's saying it, she's a pretty savvy customer already. She knows a little bit about the business. Or she wouldn't say something like that. She wouldn't say that. So, and a lot of new consultants, they don't understand the process. So, breaking it down, if she belongs to someone else, no matter how nice she is, no matter how bad you want her, no matter how bad you need her, send her back to her consultant. If she just absolutely refuses in no certain terms, is she going to do this business? If she can't do it with you, then you need to sign her up. And that's just the way I look at it. So, there that is. There that is. One of the things you can also do for someone, if they're pretty adamant about not signing up with their current consultant, and you're trying to overcome her objections to it, you can let her know that, maybe her consultant's in another town and maybe that's why she doesn't want to sign up with her. You could tell her, it's okay because you can come to my unit meetings with me and you'll get all your training, your recognition, you'll get everything you need. That's our adoptive program. So you can tell her something like that to put her mind at ease. If, like I said, she's very adamant, really and truly, you can recruit her. But you might first want to suggest that she call her consultant to tell her. That's up to you. That's up to you. So here are 3 rules, very good rules for recruiting mentality. Rule number 1, customers will tell you what they think you want to hear. They don't want you to not like them. They're going to tell you what they think you want to hear. And a lot of discrepancies will happen from this miscommunication. A lot of times the customer will just give you little pieces of the picture. And you really can't form a good judgment by little pieces of that picture. You got to have the whole picture. Rule number 2, some recruiters do not ask whether a prospect has a consultant or not. I've seen that happen lots of times. Some recruiters think that if the prospect has not been presented with the marketing plan, that they're game. And that's just not always true. That's just not always true. And rule number 3, seek to understand before it is important to be understood. When you take the high road, that choice that's not a choice that's an absolute. You want to handle each and every situation with graciousness, understanding, and compassion. That's what Mary Kay is known for, is their graciousness and their compassion. Warning signs. When you find yourself getting defensive, angry, hurt, or if your judgment's becoming a little clouded or confused, get counsel. Now, I can't counsel you on mental things, but I can counsel you on your business. You might not want to know what I'd have to say. But, I'll back you 100% no matter what it is. I always have your back. Always. When you are handling recruiting scenarios, it has everything to do with abundance mentality. It has everything to do with abundance mentality. If you think you can recruit, you can. And if you think you can't, you can't. It's up here. It's all up here. And it comes down to, I like this, it comes down to the little girl syndrome. When we try to control and hold on to things or people too closely, we like yelling like, it's mine, she's mine, I saw her first, she's mine, okay? When you do that, it's like grabbing the doll away from you. You know, get that back, it's mine, she's mine. But when you do that, you're acting out of what's called scarce mentality. That don't even sound good, does it? Scarce mentality when you yell, mine, mine, mine. And I've heard people do that. Just recently, I heard a consultant do that, and I was like, appalled. So, the fear of losing something that's yours, that's scarce mentality. And it's a fear of that someone's taking advantage of you or taking something from you that's rightfully yours. That's scarce mentality. When we switch our thought process from who is right to what is right, small people focus on their rights. Big people, big thinkers, focus on responsibilities. So, what's not classy? Accusing. That's definitely not classy. If someone has accidentally or even purposely recruited one of your customers, that can be very upsetting. Anybody ever had that happen? I have. Several times. Several times. And it does make you angry, and it does hurt. But then you got to stand back and ask yourself, well, did I allow that to happen? Was that my fault? Mm-hmm. Did I facial her? Mm-hmm. Did I follow up with her? Did I put her on my PCP list? Did I explain how the company treats customers? You know, we don't take each other's customers. So when you stand back and you ask yourself those questions, maybe the only person you need to really accuse is yourself. As they say, when you're pointing your finger, there's 3 pointing back at you. Mm-hmm. So don't point. There's never, ever, ever a time that you should accuse or place blame. Always watch your words. If you're angry, wait until you calm down before you place a phone call to another director. In fact, the best thing to do, if someone grabs one of your customers as a recruit and you're angry, call me. And it's my job to call that other director. If in fact we determine that she was your customer and she should not have been recruited by this other person, then as your director, I should be the one to call the other director to talk about it and work it out. And sometimes it gets reversed, and sometimes you just let it go, you know. Let the other director know what happened, because she can train on how not to take other people's customers. But anyway. And then also, what's not classy is proceeding out of protocol. National sales directors call national sales directors. Directors call directors. Consultants should never be the one to call the director to talk about or to be angry about that person, that consultant taking her recruit. So it's just not a classy thing to do. It's just not the right thing to do. And the third thing that's not classy is sending nasty emails. Remember that messages left on phones and emails are a testimony to your professionalism. That's not very professional. And they will be passed on. Because, Susie Q gets this nasty email from Jane Doe. She's like, well, I'm just going to send this on. Let people know, what kind of person she really is. That would not be good at all. Non-negotiable situations, mother-daughter, sister-sister, sister-in-laws, mother-in-laws, aunts, nieces. This is always very interesting in recruiting. But if she's your customer and she has, I'll give you a perfect situation. I have a gal in Danville that I would love to recruit. I've actually got 2 people. I'd love to recruit them. I would love to be their consultant. But they have a consultant, and it's an aunt. One has an aunt, and the other one, I think it's her. She has an aunt, too. Out of state. But it doesn't matter. As much as I'd love to have them on my team, and we've talked about, I've shared the facts with them because the aunt didn't. And I advised them to go back to the aunt if they wanted to start the business, to tell the aunt that I would adopt them into our unit. They get all their training and everything. But to go back to the aunt, that's hard. That's hard to do, especially when you're working on a big goal. Like red jacket or car or directorship. It's really hard to do that. But I promise you, if you will do it the Mary Kay way, you will be rewarded 10 times. I promise you, you will. So,
Melissa, now what were the
3 rules?
No, what were the like the aunt?
Oh yeah, mother-daughter.
Mother-daughter.
Sister-sister, sister-in-laws, mother-in-laws, aunts, nieces, cousins.
Any relatives.
Any relatives. Basically any relative, yeah.
What did they say? My friend down the street started selling Mary Kay.
Did she? So I bet you was just like, ooh, what did I not do? It bugs you. It just bugs you. But I don't know about you, Kathy, but when that happens to me, I do get mad at myself. And then I pick myself up, and I'm like, this is not going to happen again. And I do not let it happen again. Although it did a few weeks ago. I'll just tell you about it. The girl has not recruited yet. But in Georgetown, there's a little girl, and she's been thinking about it. And I didn't realize it, but another consultant out of Darcy's unit has actually done a facial on her, and she's been in a meeting with her. So I had to just cut all ties once I asked her. I thought about it, and finally decided to ask her, for the facial and to share the facts. And she said, well, I already know, and da-da-da-da-da. And so come to find out, she belongs, in my mind, to someone else. But what I got so mad at myself was because I knew her weeks before. I should have asked her weeks before instead of putting it off.
It happened to me twice at the career conference.
Did it really?
My friend from high school was there, and she saw my Facebook, and so she messaged me and said she was going. And then my cousin's ex-girlfriend, and I saw her at career conference, and she had 6 recruits.
And it's just like...
Before she got there, and she just started in February. It's like, oh my goodness, you did it under me.
There's like 2 or 3 girls in Holly's unit that I had them. But I let them slip through my fingers because I did not follow up. I let it go. When they said they'd think about it, or when they said they didn't have the money, I let it go. I just let it go. So, we don't want to do that. So that's why I want you to make a list tonight or tomorrow of everybody you really would love to work with. Who do you know that would really benefit from this business? And And the biggest question that was taught to me that really made me stand up and think was, if you see someone, let's say you were at Cracker Barrel, and you saw this lady right here. She's really pretty, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, wouldn't you just love to not only facial her, but recruit her? Well, what if you left Cracker Barrel and you didn't see her again? But then maybe 6 months down the road at seminar, you saw her on stage. Mm-hmm. Would you not be ticked off at yourself for not even bothering to ask? So, ask yourself, would I be upset if someone else recruited her? And if you say yes, you better go talk to her. You better go talk to her. But wouldn't you agree that most of our hang-ups in recruiting is the objections, overcoming objections? And everybody has objections. And I'll tell you, the bottom line most of the time is just simply fear. And fear, just so that you know, is false evidence appearing real. For years, I had that hung up on my wall. Thought fear. I had the down letters going down. I had false evidence appearing real. And it helped me get through a lot of fear. A lot of fear. Okay, so let's go over some of these. And just so that you know, on our Mighty Miracle page, I posted under files what we're going to read tonight. So you can print them out. I want you to print them out and memorize these things the best that you can. The first, okay, tell me some objections you're getting.
I don't know anybody.
I don't know anybody. Okay, I don't know anybody. Let's see. Okay. Well, it isn't in here, but I'll tell you what I would say. When they tell, because I do hear that a lot, and I always ask them, do you know 3 people? And if she says no, because I've had that happen, I'll say, do you know one person? And she says yes. I said, great. She knows at least 3 people that you don't know. And those 3 people know 3 people that you don't know. And it just keeps building and building. That's one way you learn how to, and I'm going to teach you how to meet people. We'll show you how to get leads. So that, to me, that's pretty easy to overcome. I don't know no one.
I think Linda's thing at career conference
Oh,
was
yeah.
the most eye-opener. Most weddings have 250 people on their guest list. So that's at least probably 125 women. Not to count that, like when I sent out my wedding invitations, I sent it to like the parents' house, and that included their 3 children and their spouses. You know?
Right.
So she was like, that's a big list right there. That's just the people you invited to your wedding, not your work friends and daycare people and
just
school
probably
people.
family.
Yeah, probably just family. So I thought that was a big thing.
It is big.
And I've been saying that because I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
Or
that's
you
very
already
common.
sell to everybody I know. Get that all the time.
Get that. Or you'll get, let's see, what's another one? Well, there's Mary Kay consultants everywhere. That might be true, but everybody does this business for a different reason. And just because you're seeing all these consultants out there with a Mary Kay sticker on the back of their car doesn't mean that they're working it as a business. They may be just hobby consultants. You just never know. What's another one?
I don't have time.
I can appreciate that because I choose to be a busy person too. I choose to be a busy person too. That's why I selected you. Because busy people are the happiest and they seem to get the most done. And that is true. The busier I am, the more I get done. It's crazy. Makes no sense to me whatsoever. But it's the truth. It's the truth. And then you just continue. If I could show you how to turn 9 hours of work into $150 to $250 profits each week, could you find 9 hours? Or what I've been saying a lot recently, which is even better, if you could commit 5 hours a week to your business and make an extra $800 or $900 a month for you and your family, would you be willing to learn to do what I'm doing? So that kind of just puts the ball back in their park. And also this, if you're face to face with her, this is where your weekly plan sheet is going to be critical because you can pull it out, a blank one, and say, okay, let's just see where we can find a couple of hours. Can you devote a couple hours a week to one party a week? Because they're going to make money if you do that. But the thing is, and you don't ever want to mislead anybody, and you don't ever want to tell anybody something that's not true. It is true. You can make that kind of money if you are consistent. And that word consistent, that's the key right there. You're doing that week in. Because if you 5 hours a week, week in and week out, you will make $800 or $900 extra a month if it's every single week. What's another one that you all are getting?
I don't have any friends that wear Mary Kay.
Don't have any friends that wear Mary Kay. I know that one's in here too. There's a lot in here. So I know I did. Okay. I'll tell you what I would say. I say, you know what? It's okay. It's all right. Because I'm going to teach you, Kathy, I'm going to teach you how to share our products. And our products are skincare products as well as glamour products. But I'm going to teach you how to let them try our skincare products. Maybe they don't wear Mary Kay. But do you really know for sure that they do or don't? Most people really don't. They just say that. They just say that. So, that's a good one. I already have a full-time job. Anybody heard that one? Okay.
Heard I don't have enough money. I don't have any money right now.
Or I don't have enough money. Great! That's the best reason for joining Mary Kay. Even if you had the money, I would suggest you take out a bank loan to start your business off right. Now, that sentence right there, I would caution you on.
That would scare some people.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got a strong D personality that's a ready right now person, wanting to make money, that could be a different situation. But I would caution you with that sentence right there. I probably wouldn't even tell them that, to be honest. But I just, when they tell me they don't have the money, I usually tell them, you know what, I understand, but it's only $100 that will change your life. It may not change your circumstance right now today, but it will change your life, which will change your circumstances. And then I usually make suggestions to them, like, you know, most people purchase their starter kit and start their business with a credit card. Do you have a credit card that you don't use, or one that's got, you know, $100 on it? And if she says no, then I'll say, okay. Do you have a mom or a sister or somebody that loves you enough that would loan you the money? Another suggestion is, do you have 2 or 3 or 4 friends that would loan you $25 each? And then you could pay them back with product. See, a lot of people will do that too. You have to get creative. And in this day and time, money is very hard to come by. And $100 is a lot of money, especially to a lot of people. So you've got to be creative. And now's the perfect time for yard sales. Yard sales to have money for a starter kit and or inventory. How about old gold jewelry that's just sitting around? They could cash that in and make money. And it depends, you know, on who the person is. You know, if she really wants to start the business, if she really wants to change her life or her lifestyle, she will find the money. You all have heard Linda Tupin say, a good Southern woman will find the money. And we will. We will. So don't let that be a stumbling block. And I understand it can be. Because when she says she doesn't have the money, you don't want to feel pushy. You know? And so I think by offering these suggestions of ways to get the money, I don't think that's being pushy. I think that that's just being sincere about helping. What do y'all think? Okay. Y'all are quiet. Y'all are quiet. Okay. Some of the others you might hear is, I can't be like you. Great, I don't want you to be like me. I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be the best you can be. I want you to be like you. I've never sold cosmetics. That's no problem. If I could teach you to do exactly what I do you think you could learn? Now, if someone asked you that question, do you think you could learn, Kathy?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you could learn, Whitney? Kirsty, do you think you could learn? Janetta, do you think you could learn? Angie, do you think you could learn? See, you're not going to tell anybody no. If I said, well, if you got the starter kit, you just go sell. You wouldn't have no problem with that. What would you say, Kathy?
I would be kind of, like, where do I start,
Be overwhelmed, wouldn't
Yeah, overwhelmed, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, you I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, my gosh!
Join the group.
It'll come back to me. How about, I don't want to impose on my friends. Y'all ever felt that way yourself? Okay, you don't want to impose on anybody. You're not imposing. You're not imposing. Women buy cosmetics all the time. Whether it's a lipstick or skincare or mascara, they're buying a cosmetic of some kind. A nail polish, it's a cosmetic. Why not buy it from you? I mean, let them buy it from you. You're not imposing on them. You're not imposing. You are simply sharing something that is, in my opinion, the best thing in the whole world. And that's product and an opportunity. You're sharing an opportunity. An opportunity that will make you money. An opportunity that will give you satisfaction. An opportunity that will help you grow personally. How can you not want to share that? And I think we get too technical sometimes and get wrapped up in, our words and things like that. Just be spontaneous, You're going to mess up. Big deal. Do it again, and just keep doing it. And the only way you're going to get it and get it right is to keep doing it over and over and over and over and over. But there's a lot of good objections on here. I think I'm too shy. I'm afraid to stand up in front of people. Well, that was me. I knew someone who did this and they failed.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to that? What would y'all say?
Did they go to training?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Did they get their training? What would you say? I don't wear any makeup. What would you say?
Good. Most of our products are skincare.
Yeah, skincare is our
Absolutely.
number one product.
And you could even throw them a curveball. Do you wash your face?
Mm-hmm.
I do. I'll tilt my head. Do you wash your face? Just like that. And they're like, well, yeah. They're like, what do you use? Water. I'm like, you got a really squeaky clean face, don't you? I don't tell them that, but, I've had that a lot of times. I hate parties. What would you tell someone that said, I hate parties?
We don't have parties, but we teach skincare.
Yeah, we have get-togethers. Mm-hmm. We play in makeup.
Yeah, plain makeup.
That's been my favorite line to use is, when I go have parties, I have fun. When I go to work, I go to a party. My parties are different than Tupperware parties. Mm-hmm. My parties are you and 2 or 3. And we sit and we play, we have makeup, and we just get all dolled up, and we have fun, and we have prizes. I think it's all in how you explain party. I really do. I don't want to obligate my friends, I know how you feel. I found that once they tried the product, they were thanking me for sharing the product. Have y'all ever had that? One of your friends actually thank you for sharing? I've had that too. It's a good feeling. So anyway, I want you to, find it. It's called Responses for Common Recruiting Objections. Print that out and keep it with you because it's very helpful until you get to the point where you just kind of roll off your own, overcoming your own objection. It'll be really helpful. And then she needs to think about it. I think you're going to hear that one more than anything. I need to think about it. Okay. I will tell you this. The 24 hours after you share the facts or after you in a guest event, the first 24 hours is the most crucial, the most critical. Because after that, people forget. They just forget. Their decision goes down. Have you ever brought a guest to an event or held an interview and she needs to think about it and you didn't know what to do or what to say? You had one, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what'd you tell yours?
I try to remember, I think I've been trained on this before, so I said, if you're thinking about it in the morning, I want you to call me. And if you're not, when you wake up, then I want you to call and let me know that too, but maybe it's not something you want to do right now. Because I know when I talked to you the first time, when I was being recruited, like, that's all I could think about for, like, the first week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all the things you're saying, I mean, like, everything just kept going through my mind. Car and diamonds and blah, 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 blah. You know, it's all going through my head all the time. So, I mean, if a person's not thinking about it, you know, when they get up, then maybe it's not a time for them to start, you know.
Could be. Or they could be scared.
Yeah.
They could be scared. You've had one, Kirsty. What did you tell her?
I had one just the other day. So she wanted to think about it and talk to her husband. And so I just set up a time, and I was like, okay, well, can I call you this time tomorrow? And we can talk and, you know, talk about, you know, what you're thinking about and what your husband says. So that's what I did, and it didn't work out for me. But
Okay, but you did follow back up, right?
I did.
Okay.
I did follow
Whitney,
back
did
up
you
with
follow
it.
back up? Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Kat, Janetta, you haven't done this yet long enough yet to know, have you? Kathy, how about you? Have you ever had someone say they were going to think about it?
Yeah, I did myself.
Your
I gave my
didn't
recruiter a hard time.
She didn't give up either, did she?
No, we sat and listened to, I don't know what it was back then. But, yeah, I think I used the excuse, I need to talk to my husband. And
I love how she said, I used the excuse. Wouldn't y'all agree? That is probably an excuse that they do use just to get her out of that instant decision. Because husbands don't really care. Most of them don't care. They want their wives to be happy. If the wife's not happy, nobody's happy. How about you, Angie? Anybody ever told you, let me think about it?
No,
Not yet?
not yet. I'm sure my time's coming.
It's coming.
I mean, I told my recruiter that.
yeah.
I know. A couple
Maybe
times.
A couple times, and she kept calling and calling and
She'd
calling.
call me and I'd say, Kim, call her again. Call her again.
She kept calling. And she'd go, Miss Radeball. And if I didn't answer her phone, she'd text me.
Oh.
So,
Angie didn't have much choice with Kim.
and I'm like, Kim, we've done this before, but you've not done it with me.
And she was right.
I'm like, you've not done it with me. I'll have to check with Lance. So he ain't gonna care.
Kim overcome every one of them.
She did.
And she hadn't even been trained on this. Or if she did, I didn't know she was listening.
And then we were sitting there to do it. We were at Comfort Suites, and she kept pushing the little thing toward me. Go ahead. Let's get on the computer and do it. I'll never forget that.
It worked.
It worked.
It worked. Never give up on somebody. I mean, really, if that's somebody you really believe in, don't give up on them.
But she'd been trying for a couple of months before I actually signed. Yeah.
And it's like Holly, worked on me for almost 3 years. Just don't give up. Do y'all have people on your list and you're not getting decisions, so your list kind of just stays stagnant? And with the same people month after month that's still thinking about it? How about, do you find yourself letting them get away and lose interest? Oh, that's happened to me many, many times. Do
So I don't want
you...
to be pushy.
Yeah, exactly. Don't want to be pushy, Do you assume that they're going to let you know, or are afraid to make a follow-up arrangement and do nothing to follow up? And follow them? Yeah, that happens. Yep. Oh, yeah. I can say yes to all of those things. It's happened to me. Lots of times. Okay, so here is some advice by Carol Thompson for this. And again, I want you to print this out and put this with your material and memorize it because it's really good. Okay, at the end of the recruiting interview, prospect Pam is interested, but she needs to think about it before making a decision. We hear it all the time. I've been known to ask my people, what are you going to think about? I have asked many people, what are you going to think about? Hannah, I'll never forget, when I was interviewing her with Becca, she had to pray about it. And I was like, Okay. You going to pray about it? What are you going to pray about? I did. I just flat out asked her. And then I had someone one time said and I don't remember who it was because it's been that long ago, but they needed to talk to their husband about it. And I actually said, what are you going to talk to your husband about? What do you think he'll say? What are you going to tell him? It also brings in a little laughter too and makes it not so formal. Anyway, we hear it all the time, and out of concern that she's going to feel pressured, do you make the common mistake of giving her too long to think about it? We give her longer than 24 hours to think about it. Every hour that passes between the time of the interview is held and the time that the agreement and the money's collected and processed or in your hands, it decreases your chances for getting a yes very significantly. More than 24 hours is too long for you and her not to touch base personally. And really, the best decisions are from the heart, and they're made within that time frame. Those are your best decisions. The wise recruiter learns not to let the prospect control the follow-up process. How many of you have done that before? You know, you've done it, and she says she needs to think about it, and you'll just say, well, when do you want to get back together? Or when do you want me to follow up with you? How long do you want to think about it? Have you ever done that? I have. And it's just gone. It's slipped away. It's gone. I gave her control of the follow-up process. You don't want to do that. You set the day and the time. You want to learn to go ahead and schedule the definite time and the next day that you're going to follow up with her. Learn to respond in a script that comes across as sincere and helpful, but not pushy. I can appreciate that. I needed to sleep on it too. I knew in my heart I was really tempted to try Mary Kay, but I was very reluctant to make the decision on the spot. That's a great answer because a lot of women, they are reluctant unless they're a high D or a high I personality. They're very reluctant. Alicia, you know I'm busy. Sorry. They're very reluctant to make that decision right there on the spot. I wouldn't do it. And at that time, I had quite a bit of I in me, but I still wasn't high enough for me to make that instant decision. I had to think about it. So then, may I share with you my observation from working with dozens of women in the decision-making process? I'm asking her permission. Always ask permission. May I share with you? It's been my experience that women tend to make decisions out of emotion, either from the heart or they make their decisions based on fear. And that's true. You'll get an instant no, and it's probably from fear. So know that. Or they make while the men are more logical thinkers, and so their decision process is a lot easier than ours. It's either black or white with them, but with women it's not. It's not. Women are very intuitive. And like me, you probably already know in your heart whether or not you want to do this. And most women do. If she agrees to sit down and listen, to have a career chat with you, she already knows in her heart whether she wants to try the business or not. And she may just tell you things you want to hear. This is where you've got to be strong, and get to what her hot buttons are. How can this business help her? Why should she do this business? Why should she start a business? I've observed that women rarely trust their own intuition. However, they respond with over-analysis to the point of paralysis. Have you ever done that? Have you ever done? This is a great little script. Understand that right now you're feeling excited and energized about what you've heard, and therefore most open to the idea of stepping out of your comfort zone to pursue a dream. And I'm excited, and I believe in you 110%. And when I leave today, I'll be taking my excitement and my belief in you home with me, and I'm going to leave you alone with all your fears. All your fears. As the hours pass, the fears start to grow. And as fear grows, it gets even harder to make a good decision or to take action on a new direction in your life. Does that make sense? It does. So, Pam, I would much rather have your heart decision, even if it is a no, rather than a fear decision. Do y'all see how this conversation could work if she needs to think about it? How you can continue to go on and get to the root of why she wants to think about it? And so then you just continue. By this time tomorrow, if you still haven't made up your mind, you'll probably have more questions. And I want to be there to answer those for you and to build your confidence. So if I promise not to pressure you in any way, may I have your permission to call you tomorrow for your heart decision? I really like that. May I have your permission to call you tomorrow for your heart decision? You've got to explain the difference to her between a heart decision and a fear decision. Okay? Because remember, she already knows in her heart if she's even interested in doing this or not. And once she does, all you're doing is giving it a try. The worst thing that can happen is that you don't want to meet people. You don't want to make extra money. You just want your Mary Kay products, and you'll get them at half cost the rest of your life, as long as you are a beauty consultant. That's the worst thing that can happen. So, then you say, great, I'm putting down 11 o'clock in the morning as an appointment for us to talk again. And just have your list of any new questions ready. And between now and then, if you can't stop thinking about Mary Kay, then it's probably your heart urging you to go for it. So I wish you a sleepless night. Now, if for some reason you get a voicemail, you call her the next day, and you get a voicemail, you got to leave her a message. Right? So you tell her, say, now, if I call you at 11 tomorrow and something, has gone on, you can't answer your phone, okay, can I count on you to call me back? You're asking her to commit to you, woman to woman. Can I count on you to call me back? And I don't want you to feel like I'm bugging you, and I don't want you to feel afraid to give me an answer, even if it's not the answer I want to hear. I don't want you to be afraid. The opportunity may not be for you, and it's fine. It's okay. I'll keep you as my loyal, bestest customer ever. Just call me back so we can both move on. So, our job as a professional is to make sure that we call her back at the agreed upon time and ask her something like, well, is there any reason we can't go ahead and get you started having fun and making money? When I call somebody back, if they've had to have 24 hours, when I call them back, my question to them when they answer the phone is, am I speaking to brand new beauty consultant Susie Q? I do. I just ask them. I just assume it. But anyway, listening to a CD or a tape is not a prerequisite. Thank you. It's not. You don't have to have that done before you get the agreement. Okay, you don't have to do that. So, if you're telling her to watch Leah Loughlin, for instance, and she says, "Sure, I will," and I'll say, "Okay, may I follow up with you with a phone call tomorrow at 11 o'clock to get your opinion?" And she says, "Sure." And so let's say I call her at 11 o'clock tomorrow. I did not get to watch that video. No problem. You go ahead and you share the facts. Don't put it off. Don't make her wait. Don't make her watch that video if she hasn't already watched it. If chances are if she missed it the first time, she's going to miss it the second time. Well, let it go. Go ahead and share with that. Print that out and keep that, because that's really, really good. Another thing you want to do, and this is also on Facebook, is have some recruiting packets done and handy. Keep these with you. I would suggest 10 at all times. And take them with you everywhere. And the only thing, now I've got, my girlfriend's house is where I got these, and I don't know, Kirsty, have you done your order yet?
The code expired Friday
night. Did it
night.
expire? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there'll be another opportunity to get from my girlfriend's house and go on an order together. But inside of here, I've got, very simply, a Choices CD. I love that
CD.
I do too. I love it. Now, I will tell you, let's talk about personalities for a minute. Your D's And your eyes will probably get bored with this. They'll get bored. I did. I won't lie, I did. But your S's and your C personalities will listen to it every bit of it. And maybe even more than once. So, if you're talking to someone, keep it in the packet anyway. And tell her to listen to it when she has a chance. But if she is that D or I personality, get her on either the R.A. Hathaway call or Leah Lachlan or something very quickly. I've got my business card in there. I've got a picture of what comes in the starter kit. I've got the career path. It shows the different ways you make money. I'll add on there, career path. I think that's what it's called on under files on the Facebook page. I think it's just called career path. And then I've got, could you use $30,000 a year part-time? I love this sheet because this shows them that they just did 3 appointments a week. 3 parties, 3 classes, whatever you want to call, 3 get-togethers. At an average of $200 in sales with 3 people, that's pretty average, pretty low. That's $600 a week times 42 weeks, not 52, but 42. That's $25,200.
And that's on Facebook.
This is on here too. So
Why
those
do
are the
you
3.
discount 10 weeks?
Huh?
Why do you only do it by 42 weeks?
I don't know why they did it like that. I didn't do that.
Vacation.
Probably vacations and yeah.
It makes a lot of vacation.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
And we never.
Only get 2.
Hey, Mary Kay, make as many as you want to. We never, in this business, it's not like a corporate job, so,
Right.
I mean, you know.
I was just wondering if that was
why
the
they did.
reason, yeah.
Yeah. But I love this because it breaks it down and shows them. And again, this is so true if you do this week in and week out. And that's the thing we have to get past because we don't do it. We don't do it. So, and that goes in my recruiting packet. And like I said, you know, if you don't have any of these little cellophane bags, you can use folders. You can get white envelopes, whatever you want to put them in. And carry them with you all the time. But what's the main thing you need to do once you pass them out?
Follow up.
Follow up. Y'all are good. Follow up. Okay. Now, any questions? No questions? No? Okay. What I want you to do this week, this is your challenge. The Silver Wings program, there is some training on there on team building.
I had lunch with Julie and she was talking about it.
Yeah, it's really good. I want you to listen to that, and if you come back Monday and you listen to it, then I'm going to let you pick out a charm for your bracelet.
What do you mean listen to it?
Or watch it. It's on Mary Kay in Touch.
Like a video.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a video.
Yeah, it's a video.
I
Go
did
under-
the question thing. Like you read and then it says what's the best. Like it gives you a scenario and it says what's the best answer. Or
It's that too.
response.
Yeah.
It's that too. It's
Does
And
it
then
have
it has-
volume?
yeah, they've enhanced it.
Does it have volume?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Just have the speakers turn on. Because I was wondering, I was like, because it said like listen to the thing, you know, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why is nothing talking? I remember something. Okay. Because I did
And
it
so,
last week.
I really want to encourage you all to bring people next week, okay? And here's how you do it. You get excited. I'm excited. And
I am.
And I know you are. And you're excited. And you need to invite Lance. Lance needs to come. Okay?
My Lance?
Yeah. He needs to see his woman getting up there and, yeah. Bring
That's
your
true
husbands.
because he had doubts. Did he not?
Exactly. He did. So bring him. In fact, bring your husbands. That's fine. Bring them. Bring people, okay? If it's a prospective recruit, you're excited and you're saying, man, you've just got to come with me Monday night. I'll pick you up. We're going to Melissa's house. She's going to have pizza. And we're going to do a red jacket celebration. And I want you to see what I do on Monday nights. And I will give you whatever you want to. Dangle something in front of her. If you really want her on your team, dangle something in front of her. What product does she like? You know, what limited edition do you have that you can just get rid of real quick and easy? I mean, dangle it in front of her and get people here so we can have some recruits next week. Because I am super pumped. Super, super pumped. But that's all I've got tonight. Are y'all ready to recruit?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.